Once you have your name, you have your business license, the next step is to get some of the tools you need to show or exhibit credibility. Okay? You've got to be able to demonstrate to people that you meet that you are capable of doing this. Now, if you do it right, you will hardly ever have to answer the question, can you do this? Okay? In fact, rarely will you ever have to answer the question, have you got clients now? Or how many clients do you have? Because they're going to look at you and they're going to know you have clients. Now, one of the first things to exhibit credibility is to have the right appearance, meaning, and dress. Okay? There is a uniform for accountants. Did you know that? Okay? There's a certain way that people expect an accountant to dress. One of our past students came in and said, well, I'm having trouble getting clients. I said, well, how do you dress when you go in to meet with them? He says, well, and he was wearing a T-shirt that was torn right here and a pair of shorts, okay? Now, you know, that's the way he's comfortable. He thinks, I'm comfortable, that's where I want to be, and so when I'm comfortable, I'm going to demonstrate better for the client, and they're going to see I'm comfortable. Well, let me tell you, you've got to appear professional. Secondly, you need to have some type of a demonstration book to show them. Now, this is really critical, and I'm going to show you one that we use a lot here. This book is one that you would take in to meet with the clients. Now, all you have to do is flash this book and open it up, and you've answered any questions they might have, okay? And so when you open this book up, it has different companies' names on those labels. Do you see that? Okay? And all those companies, by the way, you might recognize their names. City Clothing Center, Barry's Gas and Groceries. These were companies you worked on in class, right? But they've been put into a computer program, and so if you were meeting with a bakery, you can open up to Stewart's Bakery. You can show them the chart of accounts that you're going to be using, the reports, and so forth. So when you work with this book, you'll see that there are different types of data entry so that you can show the people this. And then you can show them what a balance sheet and an income statement look like, because a lot of small business owners won't know. But, you know, that's not even the most important part. What is the most important part? When they see you open it up like this. They're going to assume, they're going to figure from this that you understand accounting, so they're not going to ask you a question, can you do this? And they're going to see that you know a variety of different types of businesses, which is going to answer the question of your depth of understanding, okay? So recognize that a demo book, and you can make up your own. You just put the practice sets into the computer, print it out, and you got this, okay? So that's one thing you want to have. Bookkeeping made easy. I'm going to talk to you about this later when we talk about calculating the fee, okay? Bookkeeping Made Easy is simply a book that you can show them how to keep the books, how to keep the data entry themselves. And up in the first chapter of this is a sample of each of the different journals, so that if you set this up for a prospective client, then train them, they can go ahead and enter the data themselves. Now, when we talk about calculating a fee, you're going to find that this will save them a lot of money, and it will also put you earning more money per hour if they will do the data entry themselves. Of course, you can set them up on a computer. A lot of people are uncomfortable with a computer or don't feel a need to have a computer and spend $200 or $300 on a computer software. They just as soon just do it on paper. And once you set it up, here are the three journals, and then there's the payroll subsidiary ledger. You set it up with the titles up here for that particular business, and then you show them how to fill it in. Maybe their receptionist or their spouse or their whoever could do it, whoever's got the time to do it. And then each month they fill it out, they total the columns, and they make sure the left side equals the right side, okay? Now, by doing that, they have entered all the transactions in, they've totaled it, they've taken care of the first three steps, or the journalizing steps, haven't they? Okay? And so then all you do is you just post the totals into your accounting software, and it takes all that tedious work away. Okay? Now, of course, you won't bill them for that data entry part, but you will bill them for everything after that. And that's where you really make most of your money anyway. Okay? So, Bookkeeping Made Easy just gives you an opportunity to share with them another way that they can do a lot of the work themselves. Okay? Now, how many of you recognize this? What do we call this? Do you remember? The client organizer. Okay? Can you create one of those? In your book, it's got the diagram showing everything that's inside, but remember that the client organizer is something that you're going to have for certain clients as well. And it's just another thing. I would just have one of those made up, have it in the trunk of the car, and then if you find a need, you've got it right there, and you can show them, this is what I'm going to create for you. They get all excited about that stuff once they see you're creating a system to fit them. Now, finally, not least important, but one of the things that you need to have is business cards and letterhead, okay? There are certain little techniques that we use in business cards, so let's go over how you create a business card. In most cases, the business card is their first brochure of your business. And a business card establishes credibility as much, if not more, than virtually anything you can do. It shows your desire to be stable, your desire to be there. Now, there's a lot of different ways to have business cards made. I mean, you can go on the internet today and you can order business cards for free. They're not necessarily beautiful. They're not necessarily, well, in fact, I can tell you, they're just usually black ink on white paper, okay? That's it when you get them for free. You spend a few dollars and you can get something that's more colorful and more catchy. You can, of course, buy these kits, can't you? And they're getting better about where you actually print off your business cards. Now, I'm going to give you one warning. It's usually pretty apparent when they're homemade, okay? And we've been around long enough, or these kits have been around long enough that when we see a homemade card, we realize that this person might be just out there kind of just trying something out, okay? It's worth it to go spend a few dollars and get something professional. I wouldn't recommend the most expensive. You can spend $200 or $300 on business cards very easily. But you can get a good set of cards for $35 or $40. Nice looking cards. A few things that need to be on it. You need to have your business name, of course, the address. You need to have the phone number. And I would recommend that if you have a cell phone, we're going to talk about that in a minute, you make the cell phone numbers on there so that they can get a hold of you or at least leave a message for you when they want to. You're going to have your name and title, accountant or bookkeeper underneath. Once again, once you say that, people just assume that you understand what you're doing. And they won't ask the question. It won't. If you don't have a business card, you will probably be asked that question almost every time. Well, how long have you been in business? Okay, you have a business card. Question never comes up. Website address. And we're going to talk later too about how to use the website. It's different than most people think. Okay, so we're going to get into that. You're going to need to have your email address. I would recommend that you have email. I think that's become more accepted and more expected. You need to use the back of the card, if necessary, to add different things that you do, different services that you provide. You don't have to use the back of the card. It costs a little bit more when you use the back of the card. But you don't want your front of your card to be so cluttered that people don't see the most important things right off the bat, which is your name, your company's name, and the phone number, okay? And then once you want to get 1,000 of them. Why do you want to give 1,000? You don't want to get 100 or 200. And the reason why you want 1,000 is because it's going to be just begging you to give them away. Okay? When you only got 100, you'll think, boy, do I want to give this card to this person? Because I don't think they're going to become a client. No, I want to. But if you got 1,000, you're saying, I got to give these things away, okay? So get 1,000 of them made up, and then it's going to force you to give them away. You don't want to have those cards sitting in your shelf for the next 300 years, okay? So give those cards away, get 1,000 of them, give them to everybody, and attach them to everything that you ever send out, okay? Or enclose them with in the envelope when you send out a letter. I mean, just feel free to give them out to everybody. Family reunions, boom, boom, boom. Just hand them out, okay? Why? Because the more people that know about your business, the more people you're going to have as clients. Okay? It's just going to happen.